Hello, everyone, and welcome to our session today on the healthcare industry through the eyes of an employer. My name is Lana Barrar, and I am a director with Sprott Shaw College at the Vancouver, Pender, and Seymour locations, and I'm very excited to welcome you to the session today. For those of you who know Sprott Shaw College, we have been in the education sector since 1903, so we have a very long-standing history with our college, and we're very proud of that history. Sprott Shaw College has served the healthcare industry for a number of years, and we offer many programs that our graduates can go on to serve the healthcare industry in. A couple of the programs that we're featuring today are our healthcare assistant and a brand new program that we are launching in the new year, which is our healthcare assistant internationally educated program with co-op. So we're very excited to announce those two programs to you today. I am seeing that we have quite a few people joining us this afternoon. Looks like we have over 160 people attending the session, and it's great to see. If you'd love to comment on where you're joining us from, please do so in the chat. I always love to see who we're communicating with and who's joining us from different parts of the world. As I mentioned, today we're highlighting two programs, HCA and our HCA IE with co-op. And some of you may be asking yourselves, what's the difference between the two programs? Our healthcare assistant program has been serving the community for a number of years. We work in conjunction with the BC Care Aid Registry to ensure that the skills that our students are receiving in that program are relevant and current to the needs of today, and that they also meet the scope of practice that healthcare assistants will be providing in their field. That program is wonderful. It's a 29-week program, so the students will receive 29 weeks of in-class instruction from our qualified instructors. And in addition to that, they get the experience of 8 weeks of supervised clinical. And that clinical is really important in terms of giving them that on-the-ground experience that truly does prepare them for the work that they will do once they graduate and are working with one of the healthcare providers within our community. Recently, we found that there was a need, because of there being such a high need for people to enter the healthcare industry. We wanted to be able to look at other opportunities for serving that employment need. And so we recently developed the HCA IE with co-op program. This program is also 29 weeks in terms of instruction. It still includes the 8-week supervised clinical, but in addition to that, it also includes a 30-week paid co-op. And that paid co-op is with one of our industry providers that we have partnered with and formed relationships with, so that students can get an additional 30 weeks of experience before graduating from the program and becoming employed. On top of that, this program is really ideal for individuals where English is not their first language, or for individuals who need additional support in understanding the terminology that they are going to be expected to know and learn throughout the program. And so we assist students in becoming more confident in their English communication through this program, building that terminology experience and understanding that they need to support them in the theory, giving them the HCA program that they would get in our general program, and in addition to that, a 30-week paid co-op. So very, very excited to announce that. That will be starting in January with Sprott Shaw College. So as I mentioned earlier, today we are learning about the industry through the eyes of an employer. And today I have a very special guest with me, Mr. Gilles Lacroix. He's the General Manager of Amica on the Gorge. Hello, Gilles, how are you?
Good.
Good, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And Gilles has been working in healthcare facilities for the last 16 years. Is that correct, Gilles?
Yes, it is.
Yes, yeah. So you have a lot of experience
Yes.
to impart on your employees and the individuals that you work with in the sector. That's great. So, Gilles, how about you give us a brief introduction today on your company to the audience that's joining us? Oh, it looks like we're just over 170 people now, which is exciting. So how about you share with them a little bit about Amica and the industry that you're in?
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for having me. And 170 people, that's fantastic, from all over the place. I'm very excited. So I manage a residence called Amica on the Gorge, and you'll see some pictures in a minute. Amica on the Gorge is one residence amongst 31 residences in Canada. We have many on the island, 4 on the island. We have some in the mainland Vancouver area. We have a couple in Calgary, in Alberta, and we have a number in Ontario. So we have about 31 properties. And I believe right now there might be 2 or 3 new properties on the horizon. These properties differs, but they're very high-end private pay communities where folks pay for the services and the rental, the hospitality. And we do, moving forward, the company is building communities that are designed for seniors, all ages, to move in at a level of independence, could be independent living, all the way to end of life care. So we do assisted living, we do long-term care, and we do end of life care. So folks that are working with us, healthcare aides that are working with us, they do experience various different types of services and care that we provide. It really kind of summarize the entire healthcare needs for seniors. And the wonderful thing is that when we have a resident moving in, let's say a resident that drives his car, plays golf, and then as they age, they're still with us. They don't have to relocate somewhere else, which is very, very often very difficult for families and the residents. So the company is very vibrant. A young company was purchased and not too long ago from another company, and innovation has been instilled in the company, where we provide a lot of training for our staff, all of our team members across the board, and we do provide a fair amount of training, hands-on, hands-on with other care aides, like potentially like yourself in the future. And we find that it is imperative to train our team members so we can represent Amica the best we can and deliver the best care and services for our residents. So the community that I do manage, if we want to put the slide on, it's the beautiful bright yellow building there. This beautiful new building opened July of 2018. It's slightly over 2 years old. It's located in the Gorge area. It's facing the Gorge waterway. You can see the water there, and there's a beautiful park, a promenade where folks can walk along the water. All residents, as I mentioned, provide a combination of services, independent living, assisted living, where folks can have a bit more services. And we do long-term care. Long-term care is where we provide care services 24/7 with nursing on staff, healthcare aides 24/7. And we also do specialize in memory care, which is dementia care, most commonly Alzheimer. And we have a beautiful neighborhood that specializes for memory care services. We have 4 floors, and in within these 4 floors, we of course provide activities, dining, housekeeping, all types of services, administrative services, and in within the residence itself, we have various different lovely common areas where folks can dine, play pool, go to the library, and we have various courtyards, and I'll show you in a minute. So you can see here, this is a very vibrant community.
Gorge,
And
actually.
it is lovely. It's nice, bright yellow. There is a reason to why it is. It creates a lot of light in within a courtyard. It's very bright. Next slide, please. So these are some pictures of our our bistro area on the left there, and table setting, just to give you a sense to what it looks like inside. On the right, we have some balconies, common areas for folks that can sit on the balcony, gather, chat, tell stories, have a cocktail or lemonade, and just sit outside looking down the courtyard. Next slide, please. Now you can see we have three dining rooms in our residence. This is our one of the largest dining room that basically is catered to for our folks in assisted living. In our assisted living neighborhoods, we have 91 suites. So majority of our residents in those 91 suites would come down for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and in the dining room to enjoy a variety of different choices, beautiful meals. Everything is crafted from scratch, and homemade desserts, soups. I mean, you name it. It's wonderful food. And also in the center, that picture in the center there, that's a bistro. A bistro is open 24/7, which means if you get up at 3 in the morning, you want to come down, have a cookie, a muffin, a sandwich, a cup of tea, coffee, it's always available. And on the right, it gives you a sample of what type of food we provide. And we are very proud of using premium ingredients, fresh ingredients from farmers, local farmers, support the local economy. So we're very proud of our dining experience. Next. This is additional pictures. We have a games room in our residence with a pool table where folks can gather, play pool, have a cocktail, play cards, if you will. We have a lovely garden that I'll show you in the next few slides. We have a library that folks can sit, read a book, very, very cozy. We have games, puzzles in there, and anything that could attract any interest of our residents. And we also have a lot of programs that includes life enrichment, where we do activities, programming. We take our residents out for an outing. It could be a drive along the water, it could be shopping, could be all types of things. And how we discover what to do as far as activities is we ask our residents, what would you like to do? So we call this the discovery, a discovery of getting to know our residents better. And once we know what our residents likes to do, then we compile that information and we create programming around the needs and the wants of our residents. Next slide. Now these are other area in within our residence. On the left, it's our craft kitchen. The craft kitchen, we use it for chef demonstration. We have sometimes very elegant little dining, private dining for little groups of people, make special events, could be meetings, it could be all types of things. It's a beautiful room. And you can see in the center there, we set it up for an event. And we do a lot of demonstration, how to bake a cake, how to create a sauce. And it's a fun area. And also training that we use that room for. Next slide. So this is, again, little common areas. So on the left, you see the fireplace going, and these are on each floors. Each floors that comprises of suites, resident suites. There's always nice lounging area where residents can just sit by the fireplace and gather with the neighbors from the floor and just chat, just relaxing environment and peaceful. And the picture in the center is basically a little view from our dining room, main dining room, and you can see the water. It's the Gorge waterway. It's a beautiful area. And again, another little room overlooking the waterway as well. So it's a common area where folks can gather and hang out and socialize. Next. Suites. We have beautiful, well-appointed suites, different sizes. We have studios, open concept. We have 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, if you will. All depends what the needs of our residents are. We have couples living together, which is lovely. And we try to keep all couples together as they age in place, which is also extremely important. We have services for various different suites and in various different neighborhoods. And we do provide anything they want: housekeeping, laundry, folks that requires a little bit more attention or support. Sometimes it's reminders, bed making, assistance going to the dining room, anything to enhance their independence, so they can continue to live with dignity and do things on their own, which is very, very important. And as folks requires more and more services, care, for example, then we create other programs and services to meet their needs as they age in place. And when it's more for care related, then of course our care aides, health care aides support could be bathing, toileting, grooming, helping them choosing clothing, and portering. I mean, you name it. And then we have folks that are more compromised that may require maxi lift, mechanical lift to assist them, locate from one area to the next, or just putting them to bed. And we have folks that requires feet assist. So, there's folks that are more compromised physically and sometimes mentally, as we do provide care services for folks with dementia, Alzheimer, and we have folks that are quite advanced and they need constant support and monitoring. So there's a very vast variety and levels of services that we provide. It all depends what the residents need. And these residents are assessed by the nurse and reassessed. Basically, upon move-in, they get assessed 30 days after, and then every one of our residents get assessed every 6 months. Just routine assessment. And if a resident declines unexpectedly, then they're reassessed again, and then we reevaluate what the needs are. And then we basically create or update a care plan specifically for that resident so we can meet their needs 24/7. Next slide. And back to the Gorge again. It makes you want to move in, don't you?
Oh, it does. I
Right?
kept thinking, how
Right.
soon can I get there? But then it's so beautiful. It's peaceful and such a community feel.
It
It's
is.
lovely. Yeah.
It is lovely. I think we have a little video there as well.
Ah, perfect.
Lana, if you're able to just to give you a quick kind of, there you go.
There we go.
So this is our lobby as we walk into our residence. Quite spacious. We have a concierge that's there to welcome you. And far on the left, there's games room, library, and quite spacious. On the far right is that large dining room that I was telling you about. And this is the craft kitchen that we talk, where we have chef demos.
I would spend all my time in there.
I know. Now we're walking. Now we're walking in the kitchen. So come and join us. Let's make some cookies together.
Yes.
So this is lovely. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful area?
Gorgeous.
Beautiful
Yeah.
kitchen. And look at that. Just beautiful, well appointed. So we use that for various different things. And you'll see later on in the back door there, we have a lovely garden that we use a lot, and our seniors residents use as well. We have gardening club where our residents are really enjoying the layout and planting things, tomatoes. And we have a herb garden. You can see on the left there, and our chefs, cooks, go there and they clip some rosemary. It could be thyme. It could be any types of herbs for their cooking soups and so on.
Wonderful.
And you'll see more plants. This was not really in the season, but come spring, the whole backyard is covered with different variety of plants, perennial or annuals, you name it. And, of course, we have more benches outside with cushions, and for seniors to enjoy an afternoon or an afternoon tea or maybe a glass of wine. This is a lovely courtyard, our main courtyard within our building. It's open, and our seniors, many of which can look down their bedroom window and look at the beautiful courtyard. And we do a lot of activities there as well in the summer. And of course, with COVID now, it's been changed. There's restrictions. But pre-COVID, a lot of things going on in that courtyard. I'll tell you, musician that comes, and we do all sorts of wonderful things.
Beautiful.
So that gives you a little bit of an overview of Amica on the Gorge. And yes, and we have an underground parking for our residents, and that comes and lives with us, and staff rooms and so on for team members. We have, of course, a shower for staff if someone needs to shower and then go to a party maybe afterwards. And so we have a lot of wonderful facilities to support our team members. We have an hair salon as well, where our residents can go down, get their hair done, and could be a shave for a man's or manicure, pedicure type things. We also have a lovely theater. A nice, beautiful theater where our seniors could watch a movie, at any time in the evening, if they will, with popcorn machine and the whole 9 yards. So it's all there. And the second floor, our long-term care, we have a dining room there as well for these folks that are not wanting to go down. And it's right there, very convenient. And memory care as well. We have a private dining room as well for these folks that are within this secure environment, if you will. Beautiful. They also have their own courtyard as well, which is absolutely stunning.
Gorgeous.
So, yes.
I can really see how the yellow adds to the environment and the feel of the courtyard and makes it very bright and welcoming and a peaceful place to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so important that you take pride in the work that you do, but that you also take pride in the place where you work. And I think that your video and the slideshow really shows, the quality community that you provide for your residents, but also the quality place that you provide for your employees. And that's just really lovely to see.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, I know that you mentioned the floors that you have and the size of the community that's at Amica on the Gorge. Approximately how many employees do you have at Amica on the Gorge?
That's a good question. We have about 150 employees, and our employees are a very diverse workforce, which we really enjoy. We really take pride of our diversity and inclusion at the workplace. We have folks from India, from Asia, from the East Coast, from Europe, and I was born and raised in Quebec City, so English is my second language. I learned English basically on my own through education as well. So I speak French. Je parle français. So I learned English here on the West Coast years ago. So folks, English is a second language. We employ many because I've been there.
Yes.
And it's wonderful to see a group of professionals gather into under the same roof that are from all over the world and speak many different languages. And that's what makes us a very unique workforce. And the inclusion is so imperative, and the support and the learning from one another, which
so
really
true.
enhance the engagement of the team and reinforce what we do for seniors.
Yeah, so very true. We see a similar outcome at our campuses because, of course, we have students that are coming to us from a variety of backgrounds and from all around the world. And I always say to our students, yes, you're here to learn the program you're in, but you're also here to learn from each other. And you can't buy that anywhere. And, being able to learn from their experiences in their home country and to form relationships with people around the world is just a beautiful thing.
Absolutely, and I'm very excited every time I come to work and talk with our folks from all over the place. And
Yeah.
sometimes, I practice my Spanish now and then.
Oh, beautiful.
But what we do encourage, and we must speak English on the floor. And the
Yes.
reason why is it's for in respect for our residents, right? We don't want to be speaking French or Spanish in front of our resident if they don't understand. So as a courtesy, as a policy, we must speak English at the workplace. However, the diversity is imperative, and we're very proud to be able to work with folks from all over the place.
For sure. So when we talk about the education and the skills that you look for in individuals that you hire to become a part of the Amica family, if I can say that, what do you look for when hiring staff to become a part of your team?
That's important. The recruitment process and the fit for the resident is imperative. The one thing that's the most important thing to me is passion. Passion about what you do. Passion about senior care, about senior services, about working with seniors. I always look at it this way. When I go to work, I was very close to my mother and was very close to my grandmother and, of course, my parents as well. My father and my grandmother. Is that when I come to work, I think about these things. What would I want to do and support my grandfather, my grandmother, and my mom or my dad? They passed away now, but this is kind of the passion we have to look for. And obviously, in British Columbia, there is regulation to the qualification that one must have. A healthcare aide must have the training. So, Sprott Shaw, great college. For any of you that are interested, get the training. You need the training, the know-how, and also to be registered through the BC registry as a healthcare aide in order to work in a residence. It's mandated. That's the way it is. Unfortunately, that's the regulation in British Columbia. But I will tell you this. If this is a career that you want to choose, there is a wonderful opportunities for expansion of your scope, more training, LPN, so on and so forth. So that's a great way to get to know the healthcare industry. But certainly, Sprott Shaw, the program that they offer is fantastic. Not only will you learn the care aspect, but there's a component of different things, activities, social skills, and social mental health with our seniors, and also maybe medication programs and how you deliver medication and that types of things. So the program really has evolved over the last, I would say, 20 years.
It has, for sure. And I think the scope continues to evolve as the demand continues to increase as well, if I have that correctly.
But the passion, it has to be in you. You have to be wanting, you have to be enjoying. And, we provide a lot of training and all of that. But, if you're not passionate about something, well, don't do it. Do something you're passionate about, right? That's important.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I believe that if we find individuals who are passionate about healthcare and passionate about caring for seniors, that we as Sprott Shaw can train them on the aspects of the job that they need to understand to be able to take that passion and then care well for seniors and to work as a healthcare assistant.
Absolutely.
And we do our part to look for that passion as well. We'll do pre-interviews with students to be able to really assess their level of passion for the industry and make sure that it's a really good match. Because We want to be graduating individuals that will work in the field, but that will also work with a caring heart in the field and for the residents that they care for. Can you walk me through a typical day of a healthcare worker at Amica and what their responsibilities are?
Busy. You're busy.
Yes.
You know, you are basically assigned to, let's say, a group of seniors, but you work in tandem with other people. So, for example, second floor, we have, let's say, 52 residents. So there's 3 sections, which we call pods, A, B, and C. In a pod, you'll be working with a group of other healthcare aides, and you divide up the tasks, duties, and you work in collaboration. Okay, so you're assigned to a few residents. First of all, you have to know their care plan, what they need for services and care, and then you have to understand their needs. So let's say you come in at 7 a.m. in the morning, so you do the morning care. So whatever that care is I mean, everybody is different. 7 o'clock, you'll meet with the nurses at 7. The nurse will give you an overview of the things that change with specific residents, just give you some updates so you're well equipped to get started. Because there's always new information about residents. Could be a fall, maybe somebody is sick. So, you have to take all the precautionary measures to protect yourself as well. Could be anything. So you go in prepared to go to the resident suites. You welcome them, make them feel good about you being there, and keep them informed about what you do, what you're gonna do, and then you assist them as you would your grandma or your grandpa, and it could be anything from getting them out of bed, assisting them, could be helping them choosing clothing they want to wear for breakfast. It could be assisting with toileting, maybe they need a bit of help, and many needs a little help, but they want to do things on their own. So it might be an instance to when you have to put toothpaste on their toothbrush, but they want to brush their teeth. So, and it could be things like more care, maybe a shower. It could be maybe a portering to the dining room. You wheel them in the dining room. Could be just walking beside them when they walk with their walker. And it could be helping them with feeding. That may happen. They are swallowing deficits. You have to help them with feeding, which we train for them. Many different types of things. So you're always busy. So which means that you work with one resident, then you may have to go to a different resident, and so you have to multitask and really provide what the resident needs. And then you have your break, your lunch, and then you do that from, let's say, 7 to 3, and then 3 o'clock we have a different set of team members coming in. So we have the day shift, we have the evening shift. So what's important about healthcare is to get to know your residents. What do they really need, right? So you have to read the care plan, and the care plan is basically specifically to the residents' needs. So if you don't know the residents' needs, you're gonna have a hard time providing the care and assistance, right? So you want to do what they want you to do for them to support them, and what they need as far as the clinical aspect of their, and it basically comes down to, you want to enrich their lives, make it better, create a smile to their faces by providing a service. And you have to keep in mind that these residents are frail seniors. They have not much time left. So you want to make their days as more enjoyable as possible, most enjoyable as possible, right? So, if you can just make them smile and create a nice day for them, then you've done a great job.
Yeah. My grandma, she started off in assisted living, and then she moved on to long-term care, and then end of life care, all at one facility. And just as you said, it was so important for the healthcare aides to understand what she needed at that time and what she needed at each different level of care. and to be able to adapt and to change the care that they provided based on how she aged and changed was so important. And as a family member, really important that we could entrust the care for them to provide the care that she needed. And when we came across healthcare aides and assistants who really understood it and had the passion, it was a beautiful thing, because then we could see that our grandma was very happy and well taken care of. And it sounds like that's the level of care at Amica as well.
It's important, and it's also important for their families, the residents' families, to trust. Trust that we're doing the right thing, right? Because
so true.
And it's hard. It's hard for the family sometimes to let go and to allow us to provide care. And when they do that, it gives us such a wonderful opportunity. We have now a duty to do the best we can for this resident's life, right? So, it's important.
That's great, yeah. And it sounds like you have a variety of schedules. So you said that you have the morning shift, you have the evening shift, and
then
so
we have the night shift.
And then the night shift. Yeah. So as an employee, will you work that shift for a period of time and then have an opportunity to change a shift, or how does that work in terms of scheduling?
Absolutely. You come and apply, you work, let's say you train with us, practicum. Once you complete your Sprott Shaw training, you come to us, we give you the practicum training that is required for you to complete your program. And then you're interested to work, then we have postings, jobs that are posted. It could be casual work as you want to, or it could be, 4 days a week. It could be 4 evenings. It could be a night shift. It could, whatever the case may be. So you apply for the posting that you are interested in. Boom, you get the job and you get started. So next thing you know, maybe 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months from now, you know what? I would rather work evening than days. There might be another posting coming up. Then you apply for it. And then, so it's up to you.
Yeah, perfect. And how much can a typical staff member expect to make per hour?
The healthcare aid, because of with the COVID, the single site now, we're looking at about 23 to 25 plus an hour.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And what has your experience been with the Sprott Shaw students that you've had at Amica on practicum and then employed with you?
I will tell you, I don't think I would be here speaking to you today. Sprott Shaw, a great relationship with Sprott Shaw over many, many, many years, because I've been in this industry for a while, and we had Sprott Shaw students. And I think it's been wonderful for many reasons. Great relationship, great understanding to the need, great program that Sprott Shaw provides, really, really in depth, really keen on placement for practicum, where the student go, which is also important because you want to experience a lot of things when you take your program, not just independent living, you want assisted living, you want long-term care, you want to experience end of life, all types of different things. So when you graduate, you have all the tools that you need to be successful. So I've been very, very pleased. We've recruited many students from Sprott Shaw. And so what they do the practicum here. We establish a relationship, we support them, and then they make a friend. They're comfortable working with us. It's like going to school, a new school for the first time. And then you get to know people, and it's the same thing. And then, hey, I want to work here. So that's how we establish this wonderful relationship. And we guaranteed work, so there's plenty of work. Yeah.
Great.
So win-win.
And it is a win-win for sure. We're very happy to have the partnership with you and to be working with you to help serve the employment needs that you have also.
Yeah.
It sounds like you would recommend Sprott Shaw College to other healthcare facilities that are also looking to hire healthcare assistants or have a need for practicum students. Is that correct?
Absolutely. No question. Yes.
Great. You touched on it a little bit, just in terms of the changes that have happened in the industry due to COVID. I wondered if you could talk about that a little bit, how the industry is coping in light of the COVID pandemic and how things have maybe changed on the ground for your frontline workers.
COVID has been a challenge for all industries. and especially the senior living industries, because of our frail seniors.
Mm.
And we all know that in Canada and the States, obviously, but in the Canada, those that are affected the most are seniors in residences, senior
Mhm.
living,
Mhm.
because they're frail and many are compromised physically, health issues. So, and with COVID, COVID is basically an invisible enemy. You don't see, it could be on a tabletop. It's basically an infection, and you touch it, you make, get it, and then you pass it on. So prevention is imperative. Very strict restrictions and prevention. Like I've got my mask and I've got my goggles, right, and I've got my little hand sanitizer. So this is my hand sanitizer. So you walk around. You got to clean your hands, and you keep your distance 6 feet apart. You wear your goggles, mask at all time, gloves when you go into resident suite, isolation resident that are not fitting well. You got to wear the gown. We have a screening process. We have to do different seatings in our dining room so that we don't have large groups of people. It has created a little bit of a turmoil. However, we had to adjust. We had to train in order to protect our residents, obviously, but to protect our staff. It's
Mm.
very, very, very important. And then educating about the seriousness and how can we protect ourselves, our families at home, our neighbors, and that sort of thing. So it's really been an eye-opening, educational. But there's always a level of concern. We have to make sure that our team members are following all protocols. It's very
Mhm.
serious.
Yeah.
And in order to do that successfully, we need the staff, right? And sometimes we have to enhance and increase the staffing level just to make sure that we have a little extra staff to do a little extra things, because
Mm.
it takes a bit more time to meet all of those restrictions and the prevention. It takes more processes, and it takes more time to get those processes in place. So I will tell you, now with the COVID, a team member, a healthcare aide cannot work in two different communities at the same
Right.
time. So
Yeah.
it's called a single site. So you choose one and you have to stay there.
Mhm.
There is some exceptions. Or you could work in home support, going somebody's home, provide care, and then you could work in the community. That's okay. But
Yeah.
there's various different regulations that
Mhm.
one has to understand. But the
Mhm.
most important thing is you got to be healthy, stay healthy, and in order to do so, you have to follow all protocols.
Yeah. So if I'm hearing correctly, that the COVID, has also had a reaction in terms of an increase of a staffing need to help
Yeah,
ensure safety
absolutely. Yeah.
for your staff, your residents, and everyone in the Amica community.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Amica is a very generous company. We inflated our staffing in the worst of it, and probably about, I don't know, maybe May, June,
Mm-hmm.
July. We increased our staffing by 50%. That's huge.
Oh, that's
You know,
huge.
uh,
Yeah.
uh, just because if we were going to get COVID in our building, we knew with contact mapping that we could have lost 30+% of our staffing.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
it just shows you how generous the company is. It was not
Mm-hmm.
about making money; it was
Mm-hmm.
about protecting our staff,
Mm-hmm.
protecting.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and you can't close your doors for a period of time. You have residents there that you still need to serve, and
That's right.
so that employment need is really
Yeah.
important. Do you see the industry changing in the future? Once we're through COVID and a few years from now, what do you see happening in the industry?
More need. There's going to be more of a need for senior care.
Mm.
The late baby boomers are, that age. The late 70s. 70s. I am the youngest of the baby boomer, 60, born 63. But you got to find the next 10, 15 years. Well, even now, you've seen more need and need and need. But there's going to be a lot of work, a lot of need for healthcare aides, a lot of need for all types of healthcare professionals. You're going to see more senior residences getting built up. And we're building a new one here in Victoria, probably in the next year or so. It's going to be a big one. So we're going to have five in Victoria. And there's a few more now in the process of getting built because the need, where do they go? And so you'll find that people stay at home as long as they can, but it comes a time that they're no longer able to. And so they come to a community like us and they go through the stages of aging from maybe independent living, assisted living, and then end of life. So you'll find it be more of a need for professional like yourself. So if you want to embark into a career long term and have employment for the next until you're retired, that is a fantastic career.
That's great. Well, Gilles, how about we look to see if we have some questions in the chat. Let's see here. We did have a question regarding the shift schedules of the staff, but I believe we covered that. We talked about the morning shift, the afternoon or evening shift, and then the overnight shift, and the flexibility in that and the job postings that Amica has available to staff should they wish to change. So that's great. We have another question here. What type of support is available to your staff to provide great service to the residents, such as career advancement training or mental health counseling?
Well, that's good. That's a very good question.
Very good question.
We have a number of programs that are Live Speaks, for example. We have a wonderful HR department that you can reach out to, and there's anonymous numbers you can call that are supporting our company for mental health, going through stress through COVID, any counseling. So that is provided. The company offers a great benefit package for part-time and full-time employees, which includes it could be a dental medical program coverage, prescriptions, massage therapy, physiotherapy, anything in that nature. We have a training program that we do for reimbursement, a tuition program. We do a lot of promotion from within. Actually, we promote probably about 60 to 70% of our staff to leadership role. Yeah, it's quite high. So, like people to take over my job will be somebody from the company that's become a manager, and then they go through a program called the General Manager in Training, and then boom, then they take a spot. And my managers that reports to me, well, they were, frontline, and then they become managers. So there's a lot of incentive, promotion from within. We also have something called stretch assignments. You have somebody that's, hey, I want to do it till extra. I want to get there one day. So we provide them with some stretch assignment, and it's called the Emerging Leadership Program. And they're not yet a coordinator, nor a manager, nor a supervisor, but great potential. They show some great leader skills, and then they want to be there. So we acknowledge these folks, we prepare them, and then so there's a lot of programs, and we've been very, very successful with these programs.
That's great. You have a wonderful training program and a wonderful support program once they're hired as staff. It's wonderful. For those of you who are also asking, just because the mental health piece came up in that question, Sprott Shaw in the last, let's say 3 years, has been very dedicated to mental health awareness and mental health support for staff and students. And all of our students have access to a completely free and confidential service called My SSP. And that's available to any full-time student at Sprott Shaw, so that if they need some counseling support while they're in the program, whether it's for mental health support or financial support or just general support with being a student or being in another country. That support is available to them free, and it's a part of them being a student at Sprott Shaw. So we're very proud of that as well. It looks like we have another question here. If I'm taking the healthcare co-op program at Sprott Shaw, is it a possibility to apply for co-op at Amica?
That's a very good question. I don't do co-op. Well, the thing is, there is a possibility, yes. It's just a matter of working with Sprott Shaw, which we already have a fantastic relationship. And you know what? Anything to support someone that's wanting to get into the program and to expand their horizons and to get an employee from that, absolutely. So we would explore the opportunities as we've done on many occasions with other different programs. Absolutely.
Right.
We are like, it's one of the reasons why we do practicum as well. We open our homes for their training. In fact, we've done practicum for students that could not finish a practicum in other residences. So we allowed it through some prevention protocols for safety because we wanted these men and women, students, we want them to finish their program. Some of which had only 2 weeks left and they couldn't finish their program. So we welcomed them to our home, and so to just get them done so they could make a living and their families and so on. So yes, I would love to look into this co-op program and see how we can support. Absolutely.
Great. Well, we'll share the information on the new program with you so that we can work toward doing that. Any other questions? Please add them to the chat if you have them.
And I will tell you this.
Yes.
We have a lot of couples that are working for us.
Oh, that's lovely.
Like some are one partner is healthcare workers, and the husband or the spouse, the other spouse could be in the kitchen or a server, or so there's different. One is in the housekeeping department, and so if you decide to get your program done, and your spouse is not a healthcare aide but could be a housekeeper or in the culinary, or maybe a cook, or wants to be a dishwasher, there's opportunities to have both a member of the family working under the same roof.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Gilles, thank you so very much for your time today. It looks like that's it for the questions. I'll continue to monitor and see if any more come in as we wrap up for today. But I appreciate the information that you shared on Amica, the information that you shared on how you support Sprott Shaw College students, and would certainly recommend our program or our students to other facilities that are looking to hire. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
Great. Thank you.
For those of you on the call today and the session today, just a reminder that there is definitely a demand for educated, passionate healthcare workers. There's a need out there. The expectations over the next 10 years are that there are going to be over 17,000 job openings expected over that period of time. We're very happy to support individuals who have a passion for healthcare and who are wanting to work in the field. Today we were talking about the Healthcare Assistant Program, which is our standard 29-week program with our 8 weeks worth of practicum experience. And then, of course, our brand new HCA Internationally Educated Program with co-op. Again, that's the standard program plus medical terminology and geared toward those individuals where English is their second language. That includes the 30-week co-op. But I think, too, that another piece that we need to remember, and Gilles touched on this when he was speaking, that at Amica and certainly within the industry itself, they're looking for individuals who may start as a healthcare assistant, but then may look to be growing within the industry and moving on into other roles that can still continue to serve the industry. Sprott Shaw College is able to do that with the healthcare programs that we offer. And we've had many students who started as a healthcare assistant and taking the program, who've gone to work for a facility like Amica and then returned to us to take their practical nursing program so that they can then go back to Amica and continue to serve that facility in a different capacity. So many opportunities for growth. I hope that you've learned a lot about the programs that we offer, the partnership that we have with Amica, and the great service that they provide in the industry and the care that they give to their residents. If you have any more questions, you can reach out to sprottshaw.com. We have all the information available on the site there. You can also look at international at sprottshaw.com for more information, or contact one of our local marketing advisors. Thank you very much. Thank you again, Gilles, and enjoy your afternoon, everyone.
Right.
Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.